Hey everyone! An incredible gain of about 20% today for EHang. Big congrats to everyone who, like me, bought the dip in the low 20s and focused on the fundamentals rather than on the stock price and the noise. Some suspect that the trial flight in Japan was the reason for the stock price rally, but let me tell you that I don't think so. I have a slightly different opinion on this stock rally. But first of all, welcome to High School Dropouts Advice. If you need subtitles, click on the subtitle button right here. Through Patreon, you can get into our Discord community where you can get directly in touch with me and other subscribers. So, it's no secret that we had a nice rally of nearly 30% today, which comes down to around 20% for today, which is a huge jump. This is around 300 million more in market cap. The last 2 weeks for EHang were awesome, as you can see here. We traded low as $21 per share and made an over 50% gain in just 2 weeks. As I said, we were oversold for quite some time, and the evaluation for EHang compared to Joby Aviation and Archer did not make any sense. Our EHang community and the attention to EHang is increasing. For all the newer EHang investors and our EHang fans, let me show you the new EHang introduction video, which is a 3-minute clip, which you can skip if you know everything about EHang.
EHang is an autonomous aerial vehicle technology platform company. Inspired by dreams and driven by innovation, the world's first autonomous aerial vehicle was successfully created. EHang AAV, a globally recognized product, can be used in tourism, medical rescue, logistics, and air transportation. The new era of urban air mobility has started. Rain or wind, day or night, we've never halted our testing work. People-oriented and safety-first, we've created the world's first AAV command and control center to accurately monitor data from the EHang AAV and complete remote route control. We worked together with global partners in China, the US, Netherlands, Qatar, and Austria to pilot the 5G network-connected AAV flight demonstrations and explore the future world's digital sky. AAV's one success after another has convinced us that the air taxi is within our reach. The sky ceases to be unattainable. All of yesterday's visions will be our shared tomorrow. When intelligent AAV puts wings on logistics, technology brings infinite convenience to people's lives. EHang accumulates technologies to create intelligent AAV logistics solutions. EHang, hand in hand with DHL, launched the world's first fully automated air delivery service by integrating Smart Cabinet. EHang empowers the customers in the logistics, retail, and e-commerce fields to fly into a more open, intelligent, and efficient air logistics era. Every second counts in urban development. Our mission to guard this process shall suffer no delay. EHang's fully networked management of its Smart City Command and Control Center arms its intelligent AAVs with innovative distributed deployment to create a ground-sky linkage platform enabling convenience for traditional industries by providing firefighting, transportation, water conservancy, environmental protection, and news reporting with the innovative and intelligent aerial platform solutions. As AAV technology combines light artistry, EHang AAV light shows light up the sky. Thanks to the extraordinary capabilities of our autonomous flight control system and highly accurate in-flight positioning, one person can control thousands of intelligent AAVs simultaneously, which have broken the world records time and time again. With years of experience and innovation, EHang has solidified itself as a pioneer in the intelligent UAV industry. EHang has dedicated itself to establishing an intelligent and connected aerial system to make the world smarter. That's not only a possibility, that's our mission.
So From this video, we can agree that EHang will be a big game changer in how we use our infrastructure if their vision is successful, which I think they will achieve. The original interview is over 1 hour long, so everyone who is interested can have a look at this meeting. The sales director of Spain and Latin America, Jose Ignacio, did a very good job, and I think he should do more presentations. I will link the video up here. In my humble opinion, EHang might not be a $1 trillion company within 10 years, but it can likely be a 100 billion company within 10 years. This would mean around 60 times our money from here. If you want to buy stocks on cryptocurrency and need a brokerage account, or you want a second brokerage account, I can recommend you Webull. You can trade Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum and another cryptocurrencies on Webull. You would get 4 free stocks up to $1,850 per stock when you deposit at least $100. The lowest amount I got from the free stocks was $8 per stock, so that you would get at least around $32. This is a 32% return on your investment. The advantage Webull has is that you can trade before and in the after markets, which helps you to be one step ahead of others. You can find the link down below in the description. Let us go to the news. Many people think it was the trigger of the 20% price gain. First, let me show you the Japanese video with the test flight of EHang. If you want to watch the EHang's version, you will see that it was taken on a sunny day. However, the day of the testing was rainy, but you should have a look at the video to see how well EHang did during the rainy flight.
今空飛ぶ車が離陸しました。あいにくの雨模様なんですが、非常に安定して飛んでいます。
航空宇宙産業の開発を目指す倉敷市水島地区の研究会マスクが行った試験飛行です。機体は中国のドローンメーカーイーハンが作ったもので、最大積載重量は220キロ、2人まで乗ることができます。価格はおよそ3000万円です。マスクは先月、空飛ぶ車の無人飛行の許可を国交省から取得し、先月31日から試験飛行を行っていました。日本での屋外飛行は初めてです。機体の操作はすべて遠隔で行われます。そのため
こちらの機体、中が特徴的なんです。中にはアクセルもブレーキもハンドルもありません。あるのはただモニターのみ。そして座り心地は非常にゆったりとしていて、とても心地いいですね。
空飛ぶ車の最長飛行距離は 35km。 人の輸送や瀬戸内海の島々への物資配達、迅速な医療品の供給など、さまざまな分野で活用が期待されています。マスクは2025年の大阪万博で人を乗せて運航することを目指し、試験を重ねたいとしています。
日本で初めてフライトできたということで、我々ももう苦労した甲斐があったなと。フライングカーで来るとですね、本当時間短縮になります。こういう面ではいろいろ物流の関係でもですね、これからいろいろ活性化できるんではないかなというふうに思います。
There are a couple of things I noticed in this video. The test flight was unmanned, which is not good news. The second thing is, I want you to have a look at this. The MASC wants to repeat the test with the aim of carrying people to the 2025 Osaka Expo. 2025 for another test. This cannot be the reason that EHang is skyrocketing today. In 2025, this means 3 years after EHang certification, and most likely with a proven infrastructure with the 100 routes in the South Bay area of China. No question, 2025, another test flight means, in other words, EHang cannot count on Japan. And I honestly think that Japan will build their own by that time. We know the tension between Japan and China from history, so I don't expect a collaboration here. Let me show you a couple more indicators of why I think so. This is what we read on the EHang news page. At the event, the Chief Cabinet Secretary Mr. Kato Katsunobu appointed his secretary Mr. Sugihara Yohei to attend the event and delivered a speech on his behalf, saying, "At present, many companies around the world have launched such flying car projects and are conducting research and development and demonstration projects as the government. We will actively improve aviation regulations while supporting private enterprises in a timely and appropriate manner." First of all, the Chief Cabinet Secretary Mr. Kato Katsunobu sent his secretary Mr. Sugihara Yohei. If you have an important event and send the secretary of the secretary, then you can expect that this is only a small side event. The next thing I want you to pay attention is this. At the bottom you read they have established a roadmap in 2018 and want to utilize flying vehicles by 2023 with gradual expansion from rural areas to urban areas. So having new trial flights in 2025 with passengers for EHang is a friendly way to say that Japan is not interested. But I think there's more going on. We read, and from the presentation, the EH was priced at 30 million yen. If we put this into our currency converter, we will get 273,000, which is more than the known price of 200,000. So I'm not sure why EHang had put such a steep price increase when they wanted to decrease the price to about 80,000 in the long term. The transportation of an EH216 will not cost 73,000. So I don't think that EHang is motivated to sell and the Japanese are not motivated to buy. This is how I feel when I look into the details. Let me know in the comments below what you think. So where is this stock price increase coming from? We actually have another negative news. President Biden has added more companies to the US blacklist. Those companies are at risk of getting delisted. It was 44 companies under former President Trump and has expanded to 59 companies with President Biden. EHang is not on the list, so there's no risk that EHang gets delisted in the near future. But we have to keep an eye on EHang. If EHang's drone is used by the Chinese government or the Chinese military, I can see that EHang get listed on this blacklist really quickly. We know that EHang is working closely with the government on the smart city projects, and a lot of the funding has come from the government. So the line is getting thinner and thinner. This is something each investor needs to be aware of. For that reason, I will never expect an EHang smart city drone flying in the United States and vice versa. So we as an investor need to have realistic outlooks and backup plans when it gets on the blacklist. By the way, if you want to buy one of the EHang t-shirts I designed, you can purchase one with the link I put in the description. You can choose different colors, sizes and quality of the material. You can buy them worldwide. It's worth checking them out. I will have more EHang related designs coming shortly. With all those actually more negative news than positive news about EHang, why did we have a 50% rally in the last 2 weeks? You might remember there is still another big issue with the 60 days period where EHang needs to deliver the audited 2020 report to the Nasdaq. So with all those pressure, why is the stock gaining momentum? If you look into the news, many news sources will connect it with one single event. In this case, the maiden flight in Japan. But as I showed you, when you watch it in detail, you will see that it wasn't a great event and is not something which EHang can gain a lot of value from. I think it has to do with a mix of short interest, the build up of good news of the last 3 months, institutional interest in the stock, the overall correction of the growth stocks, EHang being oversold for too long, and the widespread rising media attention. You can see that the short sellers were putting more and more shorts on the stock, and we could have a very high number at the end of May, which has created some sort of a short squeeze. Today, significant gain of 20% can be explained by a prominent institutional investor who has bought a big amount of shares, pushing the short sellers to buy back their shorts, which has resulted in this big gain. A gain of 300 million market cap is for such a small company not easy. So there had been a lot of pressure on the stock, and the people who are holding the stock did hold for a long time already and are not willing to sell easily and cheaply, which will push the stock price even higher. So overall, we can be happy about the results, but please keep in mind the fundamentals weren't as good as the price gains want us to believe. As an investor, we should not focus on the results, but always on the fundamentals. So don't get upset when the stock price is lower than the fundamentals, or don't be happy when the stock price is higher than the fundamentals. For me, EHang has an excellent chance to reach $100 per stock at the end of this year, which would give it about the same evaluation as Joby Aviation, when EHang could deliver a satisfying 2020 report and get the CAAC certification so that it can get commercialized in China. For legal reasons, let me tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, CPA or realtor, so always consult with an expert before making a decision. Remember that your money is your responsibility and always do your own due diligence. Thank you so much and see you hopefully in the next video. Thank you, bye!